Hello, I am Indigo Sage, and I have a wonderful blog spot, and it is called Unapologetically Sage. Because guess what? I am unapologetically sage. Also, there on Instagram, you can find me under Unapologetically Sage. What I post there mostly are my photographs that I take, and I take those mainly from my inspirational walking meditations. Also, you can find Unapologetically Sage page on Facebook. There is just I post whatever I want. Mostly there are the photographs that I take, inspirational quotes, could be currently what I'm listening to, the music, whatever, whichever. But you can find me under Unapologetically Sage. And also, more tarot you can find on the Tales of Tarot tab at unapologeticallysage.com. Enjoy. Right here is where I'm getting ready to explain this new series that I've started. It's a series about the spreads that I've created, the tarot spreads more specifically, that I've created. And I'm giving you a little bit of background, a little bit of reason as to where this particular spread comes from. And I want you all to know that this is actually what I'm using, and what I would like to continue to try to do is use my personal life as an example for these spreads. So that will help me connect better and explain better as to how they work. So this is what my vision is, and so we're going to do it. And welcome to my journey, okay? So let's get right into it. This series was born from the fact that I always give my all to everyone significant in my life, no matter what I get back or lack thereof. There have been so many people in my life that took everything I gave while offering nothing. And while I feel they should be ashamed of themselves, I find that not one of them are. What that did was made me go deeper into myself to see why I was around these type of people in the first place. That gave birth to the II and AA, the Introspective Inventory and Accountability Audit. During my II and AA, I realized it's not all my fault. That's where this spread comes in. It helps by exposing the triggers for the people that flipped on you, and in this case, me. This spread will tell you what happened in this person's subconscious that made them act different towards you. By doing this spread, it will help you own the fact that it's not your fault for the inevitable disruption. This spread was so important to me because I am a person that always examine myself first and foremost when any relationship meets its demise. So my guardian angels developed this spread in order to shine light on the other participant. These people are a part of the herd who never admit that anything could ever be their fault. When you get tired of dealing with those people, come see me, Indigo Sage Tarot, for a personal spiritual reading, but only when you are ready for the truth. Now let's sage this out. Okay, so welcome to Indigo Sage Original Spreads, Core Cross Character. This one is entitled My Finalized Fiancé. This is a reading example for the Core Cross Character spread. All right. Also, you can get the specific steps of this example at unapologeticallysage.com/Tales of Tarot. It is on the Tales of Tarot tab under blogs. All right, let's sage this out. Let's get started. So here's a couple of things that I want to say first. This was the very first one that I did. I was inspired to create this tarot spread because I had a fiance and they did me real dirty. You know, it even included me moving across the country to be with this person, and only to find out, you know, that they were horrible. Anyway, so we didn't make it. But I originally titled it, you know, Why Did My Ex Hurt Me? Because that was, you know, that's what I wanted to know. Like, how did this person present themselves one way and then in actuality be someone different for such a long period of time? How could they keep up that fakeness, the facade of, you know, them being good when actually they were horrible? And that went on for, like, it was about 2 years, but I knew them in total 22 years. But we were engaged for about 2 years of that. And anyway, I didn't understand how the wool was pulled over my eyes like that. So that's how this spread was born. Now, with that being said, this 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 these graphics and this spread that I actually did was about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. So that's why I chose to keep everything original. I wasn't redoing it, remaking it. I'm just now, you know, posting it, but that's just a little explanation as to why it's a little fuzzy, why this title card is Why Did My Ex Hurt Me? I mean, I didn't even, you know, now I'm retitling it to Finalized Fiancé, but but this is where this comes from. Okay, so just bear with me. And the same thing with the next upcoming cards. I'm just going to be reading them because this is my original. This is my original, and I'm not changing it. Okay, so here we go. So here's a couple of things that I want to say first. This was the very first one that I did. I was inspired to create this tarot spread because I had a fiance and they did me real dirty. You know, it even included me moving across the country to be with this person, and only to find out, you know, that they were horrible. Anyway, so we didn't make it. But I originally titled it, you know, Why Did My Ex Hurt Me? Because that was, you know, that's what I wanted to know. Like, how did this person present themselves one way and then in actuality be someone different for such a long period of time? How could they keep up that fakeness, the facade of, you know, them being good when actually they were horrible? And that went on for, like, it was about 2 years, but I knew them in total 22 years. But we were engaged for about 2 years of that. And anyway, I didn't understand how the wool was pulled over my eyes like that. So that's how this spread was born. Now, with that being said, this 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 these graphics and this spread that I actually did was about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. So that's why I chose to keep everything original. I wasn't redoing it, remaking it. I'm just now, you know, posting it, but that's just a little explanation as to why it's a little fuzzy, why this title card is Why Did My Ex Hurt Me? I mean, I didn't even, you know, now I'm retitling it to Finalized Fiancé, but but this is where this comes from. Okay, so just bear with me. And the same thing with the next upcoming cards. I'm just going to be reading them because this is my original. This is my original, and I'm not changing it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, core. So the core card is the Page of Wands. Look at this happy fella. He's visualizing a bright future ahead of him, looking forward to a relationship with his soulmate, making plans to move in together, enthusiastically sending pictures of possible homes where they would raise a family. This person sees himself conquering the world. Nothing's wrong with that. Until you notice the man who envisions himself conquering the world is envisioning himself alone. So here we go. Again, imagery is very important. Okay. So that's when I realized, like, okay, there's nothing wrong with this card. And there isn't anything wrong with the card until you take it into the context of what it is. And this is where I was like, oh my gosh, this person really didn't envision us being together. They envisioned themselves doing all kinds of great, wonderful things alone. There's no one by their side. So that was interesting to me. I took note of that. Here is the crossing energy. This is the card that represents when things went left and when this is what pulled out their character. This is when things switched up in this person's mind. The cross is 8 of Swords. This card was very eye-opening to know that the 8 of Swords was their crossing energy for the relationship, or it may be described as the cross they bear. It suggests that the woman is being held against her will at mere glance. However, linger a little longer and you can see she is only bound in her mind. Her feet are free. She's tied to nothing but herself. The bondage appears to be thin, light paper-like material that can be easily torn. In the background is the castle she ran from, most likely due to pressure. She never really believed she could do it. Be a successful married person, enjoying family, career, and self-love and care. Surrounded by divine love, joy, and enlightenment was not frightening for 8 of Swords, but more like, they're here. Caroline come through the TV, blood-curdling scream of terrifying horror. Shortly after crossing energy makes their presence known, the doorbell rings and it's solidified. Let's see who's there. Here comes this fool. Okay, so the character card is represented by the 7 of Swords. Okay, the character appears to be a thief. He seems pleased with the distress he's caused his victims. Scruples are not in his vocabulary. One can't help but notice the smirk on his face as he admires his work. It's clear that it pleases him to cause detriment to others. It makes you wonder what happened in his life that reconfigured his mind to think of only himself, no matter who the casualties are, nor their families, and the list goes on. In the very next moment, I gained understanding which morphed into crystal clear clarity. This is who this person really is. So in times of distress, they result to the 7 of Swords behavior. They do this back and forth throughout their life, perhaps. So this made me wonder. Yes, I wondered, WTF? Why the fall? That's a big drop. Going from Page of Wands, enthusiasm and hope, to 8 of Swords, paralyzing fear, ultimately leading to 7 of Swords, deceitful and manipulative behavior. WTF? Here is where we will take a deep dive into this person's character to help us understand more of what is this person's true nature. you will find that it's really hard for people to hide their true nature when they feel challenged. The main reason for this character deep dive is to help people who need closure or still don't understand why the person switched personalities on them in the first place, although closure was had. Not to mention, this is a great way to learn what red flags, again I say, red flags, look like once you do this spread in your life for your personal situation. You will experience so much clarity that you will want to do this spread all the time. However, I only recommend doing it once you honestly, from the bottom of your heart, feel like you are 100% done with this person. This spread should not be used to throw anything in anyone's face. If you do, karma will be served and you won't like it. So don't use this spread unless you are sure you are done. That's my suggestion. Now you've been warned. Let's take a deep dive into their true character that was hidden. Shall we? Sage this out? Okay, just in case I didn't mention this earlier, because I know that I did tell you all that you can go to unapologeticallysage.com, click on the Tales of Tarot tab under blogs, and you can find the written step-by-step core cross character description of how to perform this tarot spread. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that after the cards are shuffled in the manner that you wish to do that, the first two cards, the first one is your core, the second one is the cross, and then you flip to the bottom where normally I do, that's the snapshot energy, but in this spread it is the character. And then in general I do go ahead and get the other two cards, so it's 3 total cards from the bottom, 2 from the top, 3 from the bottom. And what it is the first card is, which in this case is 7 of Swords. That was the first from the bottom. That is this person's absolute character. That's what comes out first whenever they feel challenged. Now, the other 2 cards further explain the 7 of Swords characteristic pertaining to, the situation. So here we go. Saging it out. So here's WTF. And like I said, why the fall? So to make sense of this, I looked further under the character card. That leaves us with this trio: 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands in reverse, and the Devil. This combination clarifies a lot. 7 of Swords is the ex-partner going forward, unbeknownst to me, with different plans. There is often dishonesty connected with this card and trying to get away with something or trying to get out of something by lying. This is the card for thieves. And it turned out this person was a big thief, unbeknownst to me. Thief of joy, thief of happiness, a thief. All a thief. The 4 of Wands reversed is the first card to explain the 7 of Swords, or shall we say the first clarifier. The 4 of Wands card reversed strongly represents the cancellation of a celebration or joyous occasion, i.e. or e.g. Wedding. It refers to depressive feelings of not fitting in or imagined lack of support. This reverse card tells me that the ex-partner could no longer see us together. They quit the team without saying a word, just canceled and started new without saying a word about it to me. Four of Wands is behind Seven of Swords. Each card underneath offers more clarity. Let's look at one more card. I'm still wondering, WTF, why the fall? The fall from an enthusiastic page of Wands to a canceled celebration without notice. Further investigation, further clarification into that Seven of Swords reveals the Devil card. Okay. The Devil card says this person's character includes strong will, as long as its result is absolute power. What the character doesn't have is foresight. Otherwise, they would know that even if they get their prize, absolute power, I believe it was, it comes at a steep price, a price that one's mouth may write, but lo and behold, one's ass may not be able, may not be capable of cashing. Okay? A price that one's mouth may write, but lo and behold, one's ass may not be capable of cashing. And that, my friend, is the most important part. Side note, narcissists overlook this ass cashing part all the time. This is someone who will make something happen, not because it is the will of God, but because it is the will of man. So this is someone who will put their needs above and beyond absolutely anything else in this world. It doesn't matter if they step on someone else or hurt someone else or steal someone's life saving, it doesn't matter to them. It just doesn't matter. It does not matter. This person is this explains the Seven of Wands, who is a liar and a thief. Okay? So this is the character of the person. This is their true grit character. They are a liar and a thief. All right? So I like to dive into the character because that always tells me everything I need to know. And this is the person that I saw when I, went down there to actually be with this person. And I was like, wait, whoa, where did this come from? How are you a liar and a thief? What is this? And, further under that was the reversed Four of Wands. And that was the finalizing of the fiance part, because it was like, okay, so nope, you're not my fiance no longer because this is a mess. You crazy. And then underneath that is the devil. Right side up. Okay. I'm like, wow. Okay. So, and again, this is further explaining the Seven of Swords. So, you're peeling all these layers back and everything. And basically, it's like you're doing the II and AA on this person. The psychology of this person, how as it relates to your situation and the demise of the, like I said, relationship, friendship, or partnership. Okay? This spread goes for any situation that has met its ending. And you just kind of want to know, why did they flip? This is for something that has flipped. This is for a situation that has just flipped. And you're just wondering, like, what in the world happened? Because you didn't flip, they flipped. Okay? So either they flip-flopped or flipped out, or something happened to where it was like a sudden change that didn't correspond to anything and didn't make any sense. They completely did a 180 on you, and you just want some kind of clarity. Sometimes, even though you've had closure, you may not have clarity. Closure and clarity are two different things. And I close all dealings, whether good or bad, they closed. But sometimes clarity is needed. And we need clarity because it helps us move forward, and it helps us see warning signs for the future so that we are not put in this position anymore. So that's why clarity is needed. And this is a great tarot spread that I've come up with to give that clarity that's needed to help you prevent you, or if you're the tarot reader, to help your querents prevent them from being put in that same situation, especially if it's a cycle, especially if you find yourself in the same situation a lot. You need this spread, and you need to do this spread. Core, cross, character. Okay? 2 cards from the top, 3 from the bottom. That's what we doing. Special announcement, special announcement, special announcement. What you are looking at is the back of the first deck that I've designed specifically for the best clarifying results possible during my extendeds. Hence the title, Ultimate Clarifiers Deck. I am extremely excited to put it to use, not to mention for sale later. I can't wait to use Ultimate Clarifiers Deck in order to give you all more personal readings with the extendeds to come. May you all have a blessed week, and remember, as above, so below. Okay? You will be blessed. It's already in the writing. It's been stained. It's already there. As above, so below. Have a wonderful week. If you like what you saw, click like. If you would like to support me, click subscribe. Very simple. Thank you.